Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell. Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning. Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Good friends and trends that bend the senses. Let's get a bit senseless. Welcome to Morning Coffee Show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the Morning Coffee Show with Super Fast Tortoise. Welcome to the Morning Coffee Show, where we have the flow. Good vibes from head to toe. Let the happiness take you in.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
All right, so
Good morning.
sorry about that intro mess up. Like StreamYard introduced comments onto the video now. Like if you look at the bottom right, the bottom right, you'll see comments. Just build it up there. Cool.
Chat box.
But when you start the show, it hides them. And I was trying, it hides you from being able to hide it and whatnot. Because I was trying to figure out how to turn them off for the opening credit, but wouldn't let me. Then halfway through the intro, it's like, oh, here's the option to hide it now. I'm like, it's a little late. But hey, I'm trying something new that they're offering. It's called Show Comments Beta. Whoop, whoop.
Cool.
Love it.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. Who's got music playing?
Not here.
I thought that was just in my
I
head.
think it's Mugen's and his grandma was
Mugen.
watching TV here.
That's funny.
I was getting ready to have to get up and dance.
It reminded me of one of those early 80s sitcoms, you know? We're about to watch a murder mystery. Dun, 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 dun. Or maybe an episode of Days of Our Lives.
Today, Angela Lansbury will solve another murder.
That's
A murder that happened in a small little town in Maine.
Hey, there's theories. There's theories behind Murder, She Wrote. Notice everywhere Angela Lansbury's character went, there was a murder.
A very popular theory that Angela Lansbury's character, she was behind it. Miss Jessica Fletcher herself was behind every single one. She may have not committed the murders, but she absolutely convinced you to do them for her.
Right? Something. There's a theory, because every episode puts her in a place where a murder just happens to happen, and she went to solve it. It's like one of the theories is she set it up. She was part of it. She planned it. Because how do you just randomly go somewhere, someone dies, and you get to do the case?
First of all, I know exactly how this works. I've done a lot of deep diving into the YouTuber culture, and yes, D. Lawson, Cabot Cove was the name of the town that Miss Jessica Fletcher lived while she wrote her books, and so many people, so many more people than the town's population were murdered.
Yeah.
Well, so think about it, right? So she's a content creator. she's got to have content, and she writes about murders. So how are you supposed to write about something you don't know?
Mhm.
So just like any good content creator out there, Vitali, Johnny Somali, Boogie, you got to create content by causing something dramatic to happen. What's more dramatic and more content worthy than murder?
Let's see.
I think you guys are all just soiling Jessica's good name.
Cane
She's
Shaker
trying
says,
her best here to solve these murders, and you're just like, nah, it was totally you, darling.
Cane Shaker says he was more of a Barnaby Jones fan. Is that a Midsummer's Murder reference?
Barnaby Jones
I
was
think
a
so.
detective in 1950s, 60s television. Pretty good shows.
Was that Judd Clampett? That was I can't think of the actor's name.
Yeah, that was the actor who played him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, because I know that there's a show called Midsummer Murders.
Yeah, there is a Barnaby in Midsummer Murders.
Yeah, that's what I was
I
thinking.
don't know what his surname is, though.
Mr.
So.
Barnaby Taylor Tibbs.
Mr. Barnaby. But anyways, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show with the flow. Good morning, my creep. Good morning, new peeps. Welcome to the show. For sure, for sure. And we're here with Hillbilly KJ, tibalts, apprentice, mugenfool, and Hellwheeler. And we're here to have a blast and have a conversation because today I was thinking, well, I was deep diving for like a topic that could probably get everybody chatting is, are your games worth the price? And so this is more than just Magic. This is video games. This is board games. This is other games. Are they worth the price nowadays? Because I don't know if you know this, but the price of things besides tariffs are not involved in this. The price of things are going up in price just generically, right? Just like how they are. Like and they're changing the way games are played, which is sometimes a little bit insane, right?
Yep.
But when we get into that, we'll get into that. Let's really quick say hello to people in chat. We got DeLawson. Morning.
Good morning.
That's right. And we got Elijah Castle. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Elijah. That's right. Elijah Castle. We got Lone Wolf. Yeah, can you imagine if we had like one of those old radio station sound effects, like a horse riding, where you get and you get the dun 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 dun, those sound effects. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Silver. Oh wait.
Yeah.
That's right.
I want to apologize about that. We had a hard time finding one of our dogs, but we found her.
Yeah.
We found her, so that's good. She's doing
I'm
good. She just
glad he found the dogs.
yeah.
We got
Who
Cane
let the dogs
Checker.
out?
Cane Checker.
That's a good question.
You rock. You roll. All right. And yes. What a bunch of winners in chat already, says Elijah Castle. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We got Zombie. You were
Zombie.
my head, yeah. Zombie. Yeah. Oh, looks like we're catching up with chat pretty well. All right, that's right. Smash that like. Cane Chick says, my answer to that, definitely yes. Yeah, and yes, like most games, if you love them, it's worth the price tag, right?
Yep.
And that's just everybody's biased about something. When you say yes, it's worth it. Like if you really love Magic the Gathering, you're willing to pay them more money and stuff like that. But there's a lot of things changing, even in the board game industry. So one of the weird things that are happening with board games is board games are advancing, right? You expect board games to advance. But one of the things that they're doing nowadays to kind of get the more intricacies into board games is they're adding app features. Like if you buy a certain board game, like an exit game that we were playing last night, like there was an app companion that helps you walk through the clues and stuff and help you get into stuff. They have app companions that are like, here, this is to be a companion with you in the game. Plus, they're bringing you additional background ambience, which is, whatever, like sounds and stuff, whatnot for the game. And yeah, and we were playing a game based on the Murder on the Orient Express,
Yeah.
which is a classic Hercule Poirot
Yep.
story. All right, but then one of my gripes that I want to talk about. The gripe I have is not so much the price tag, but what you're getting for the price tag. And one of the things that's happening is video games are starting to go up in price. Like for example, the Nintendo Switch games are going to be $80. 70 bucks for certain versions, 80, $90 for other versions. And what's killing me with the video game industry with the price increase is they're pushing for non-physical media. You know what I'm saying? Non-physical media, like something you can't hold, something you can't trade, something you can't sell, something you can play, but like and in some instances it makes sense, right? To go to the digital route because when Nintendo was working on the disc connector for the Super Nintendo, they were going to have more space for games, but they chose to go the hard case route, the hard cartridge route, and the space was more limited than a disc. So PlayStation, when they came out, were able to get more games, bigger games on discs. Then that evolved into Blu-rays in the future, like Blu-ray discs that held a lot more information. They were able to do that. Now I believe we're getting to a point where games are getting too big for the Blu-rays.
They literally are. Sorry to cut you off. I just want to tell you about like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I think came in 2 discs for PS5.
Well, I know for sure. I don't know about that, and I haven't looked it up. But I know for sure Final Fantasy VII for the PlayStation was like two or more discs.
It's 3 discs, if I remember correctly.
So back in the day, when games required this thing called a memory card, which they should really build for us older people. Memory cards, store memory, remember things. Oh, all right. Elijah says Warhammer 40K is making an argument for tabletop companion app. Will be gas. Well, in defense of Warhammer 40K, that game needs all the help you can give it because having to battle and look at books and stats all the time and having cards and everything.
Yep.
MTG Game Bob. MTG is the most expensive game I own by a milestone, like over 100 times and more. Woo. Monk. Woo woo. Monk. Oh yeah. Hey.
I'm gonna agree with Bobby. It's definitely one of the more expensive TCGs out there.
Well, it varies. Like right now, like I can attest that you can buy Tarkir Dragonstorm for like $4.50 a pack, right? Which is not horrible, but other external parts of Magic, like those Universes Beyond, can go a bit crazy. Secret Layers can be crazy. Vary what's inside them and how much you're asking for them. It varies. All right, I'm trying to do something. Let's get that off there. Zombie says, "Shit, I forgot about." Yeah, I have a PlayStation, but I don't have a memory card. I gotta try to find one now. That's right.
Yeah. My friend has a 3DS, but he can't find his charger.
Oh, right. That's tough. That's tough. You need all that stuff. But yeah. So and what is it like that? We explained about board games. We talked about board games changing, evolving, and board games kind of make sense because the price of stuff goes up. You got wooden pieces, metal pieces, cardboard pieces. You got graphic designers, and you got factories doing these things, put all together, whatever. The board game thing kind of makes sense. And with the video games, what makes sense about the prices going up is cost of living's going up, right? Cost of living is going up. You need to pay for that little extra to, support these jobs out there. If you love the game, you're going to support it, whatever. But what I don't like is the lack of digital media. The lack of physical media, I should say.
I agree with you on that because, like one of the games I'm going to stream here only got a physical release in Japan and I think certain Asian markets. Everywhere else, digital only.
Right.
Unless you import because it has English options, but you shouldn't have to import in order to get a game.
Right. Well, see, the nice thing about digital media, right? And correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Correct me if I'm wrong. But you can't tariff a digital project.
You are wrong.
Yeah,
Donald
yeah.
Trump had just recently announced that even video games and film, he is going to start tariffing if you don't film them in the United States. He just announced that last week.
Yep.
Well, he's talking about like digital stuff.
I can send you the article if you need.
No, I believe you. Well, like I believe you there. It's just just like in a way that's going to the extreme because it's digital. It's not really like it's moving from destination to destination. But
What defines as a product, though? Because tariffs are just more than part of a shipping cost. Tariffs are for product purchases. So, like if you're purchasing a product from overseas, and they charge a tariff for you, it doesn't have to be a physical product to be tariffed, based off the definition of product.
that is interesting knowledge to have because like you think about how things work. You think that'd be like the thing that gets through. But
I want to add on to that. You can tax for digital goods too, because in Ohio, my friend has taxes, but down here in Oklahoma, I don't got to pay taxes for digital stuff. Yeah,
right. But I know taxes on digital media are state level, so at least. So I know that part. Really quick though, I did something for today. We'll get back on topic because man, it's a good topic. But I did something for today. I haven't done it in a while. But I made pictures of the day.
Cool.
Yeah. And
Are you okay?
for real.
You ain't done this in a while.
Right. The first picture of the day and the second picture of the day are linked together, and I was having fun. I was trying to think of the entire community of people we have. We have Darth Vader behind the scenes of him before the Clone War, watching documentary about cloning cats.
Oh, have you seen that AI Darth Vader in Fortnite?
Yeah, like I seen a picture of it. It got big.
Yeah.
Even the darkest of people can get pulled towards the cat side.
That's right. Then the second picture of the day, with Darth Vader having a catnip party with his feline pals.
Oh, that's a good one.
And those plants are supposed to be catnip. I don't even know if that's what catnip looks like, but that was in the prompt.
I bet making these made you feline good.
Yeah, that's right. But I did that because I know a handful of people in this community are Star Wars fans, and we got some people that are major cat fans. Like, my house has 4 cats. No matter how much you say you love cats, you really don't love cats unless you have 4 cats in your house. You know what I'm saying?
4 cat minimum.
That's 4 cat minimum. That's right.
That's not fair. There's not enough room in my place for 4. I've been told I'm not allowed
I'm poking
another
at you.
Well, to be
I
fair,
need another room before I'm allowed another cat.
let's see. To be fair, you got 2 cats, and I guess it just depends on how big of a place you got.
Right.
I thought the limit was 10.
Crazy cat hillbilly comes again.
That's right. Hillbilly. All right. Ooh, that's right. Ooh, the photos are being tariffed. But that knowledge will be part of the tariffs as well. That's right. Oh, that's great. Whoop, whoop. Madam Monk, laugh loud. Who's a Star Wars fan? Oh my lord! If anybody's a Star Wars fan here, we know Madam Monk is a Star Wars fan. Like when KJ talks about Star Wars, when KJ says something correct, Monk's like, I agree. I'm glad you know that information. Like, this is like, I remember reading this book. Or when someone says something wrong, Monk's like, it's not how it went down. Like, I know for sure Monk's like top of the fan list here for Star Wars. Investable collectibles.
I remember when they made Goku, everybody thought Goku was actually Yoda.
Oh, Grogu, yeah.
What?
Grogu.
Grogu, yeah, Grogu, not Goku.
Yeah, well,
he said Goku, and I'm thinking, what does Dragon Ball Z have to do with?
Use the Force, Goku. Kill Frieza.
Mm-hmm. Can't shake her hand raised, Monk. That's right. But yeah, no, Grogu. Yeah, people call him Baby Yoda, and they're like, it's not Baby Yoda and stuff. And they didn't release the baby's name. They just called him the child for a while.
Yeah,
Which is still more appropriate of a term than the people who are calling it Baby Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
Just have to say,
Right.
the people who call it Baby Yoda, even to this day, I want to smack them over and over and over again with their own hand.
let me get a helmet before you do that.
Mm-hmm. What is it? Think about it. So who wins? Goku versus Grogu?
Yeah.
Goku.
My wife does makes me cry.
So do you guys have thoughts? Because I know every one of us here on this panel, right, has a poor person's visual on this stuff. Like we have different financials going on, but we all think at a poor person's rate. Right. And we do like playing the games, and I know a handful of us are willing to invest in games that we enjoy, love, or want to try to pull to us, right? But I know we all come from poor people's thoughts. That's what's unique about this cupboard of people. A cabinet of people, I should say. Cupboard.
I've got another thing where I want to take it into the left field here, whereas there's another price that you're paying with the games that you play, and that's your time and focus.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's something else that you're spending on these games that's can be a precious commodity and stuff, because not only are you spending your money on these games, but they take a certain amount of energy and effort. Right, so you have to balance that off against the things that you're playing too, or the hobbies that you have. Are you getting your real value out of that, or are you spending time chasing things that aren't really making you happy?
Right.
I want to add on to I want to respond to that. Like with MMO games, you really got to spend a lot of time on those.
Mm-hmm.
And I spend on
about this. Think about this, right? Interjection.
Right.
Interjected. Like for a fact, Nintendo Switch is raising the price to like $80 a game, right? For the Nintendo Switch 2,
yeah.
to be specific, right? And
so is Xbox apparently,
right? But like you can go onto the eShops to these places, like the eShops, to buy video games. Now, how many times have you gone through a freaking eShop and seen all these stupid mobile phone type games, or these stupid NSFW games made for like people who want to watch like some weird stuff, play some weird stuff, right? And all together, you can see by the image of the game that it's not worth the price tag they're asking. Then how much of that will we see in the future?
True.
Like $80 a game. Are you going to buy a mobile game for $80 if they do this? Or for $80, are they actually going to set a standard to these games? Like, this game better be good, playable, because look, five games off the eShop for $80 a pop, you're pretty much buying a whole new system.
I've been trying to stay quiet for a lot of this conversation because I ranted about this just 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
But first of all, flat out fact of the matter is, as long as you will buy it, they will release it. The same that's the deal with the look at like these games that have been being released lately. The latest thing in gaming, particularly PC gaming, is to be releasing unfinished games.
Right.
Why? Because it makes money.
Well,
All right.
yeah,
And on top of that, most players, most gamers will do it anyway. Then you have the streamer pandemic of streamer gamers who will stream any game for content. It doesn't matter if it's NSFW Gooner stuff. It doesn't matter if it's another gameplay of Super Mario Brothers, whatever, Super Mario Brothers 100, freshly released out of Japan. It doesn't matter because the gamer will buy it anyway. Just like the Magic gamer is going to buy Magic the Gathering anyway. It doesn't matter how much they charge for Final Fantasy in the long run, they're gonna buy it, and that's the deal. They're going to buy it. So why not release an unfinished game? If we don't finish the game, maybe you'll buy the DLC package to get the bugs fixed.
Yeah. Right. That could be a thing. That could honestly be a thing, and to me that's problematic. For those who are the people who have the way extra spare money to pay $80 for, let's say, a 15-minute game, wow, that's really up to them, right? But like for me personally, I like really good games, quality style, and like I understand $40 is not the price tag of a game anymore, going into the future now on. Right, I can understand, like games like Horizon Zero Dawn, if they were to make that for the first time, and how awesome that game is, right? How awesome that game is, how epic and full of the intricacies and detail they went into the game. Like that would be worth $80, because that game, you do put time in, you do put effort in, you do play it, right? But then I know, like, what I kind of feel goes against the idea of this, and God knows Nintendo will listen to me and do it. Yeah. But like, say Nintendo wants to release an old Pokemon game, right? From the old school Game Boy days. No upgrades, no visual upgrades, everything looks classic as it is. Right, and maybe they put it on sale for a certain amount, but still charge a premium, and sell it to you for like $60, which they have the right to do it. No one's going to stop them from doing it, and people will buy it. But like some of those games back in the day are not worth the price tag today for the digital copy.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I don't understand though.
What do you don't understand?
I don't understand. That's good business. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my
Lord!
It's
good business.
Good business.
I don't know what
I didn't even say it was bad business, did I?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Bad business. I did not even say it was bad business.
The inflection in your voice. The inflection of your voice sounds.
Trigger warning! Trigger warning! Trigger warning! Trigger warning!
I'm just saying the inflection in your voice. Once again, you're saying nice things, but the negative sound in your voice.
Saying nice things.
That is nice things. You're saying nice things, but you're putting negative inflection on it.
Saying nice things, right? It's not saying about saying
about making money.
Either. Look, business is business if you like it or not, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's nice.
Matter, right?
You're saying nice things. That's all that there is to it. It's business. It's if they say that the Nintendo Wii 2 is going to be the most expensive system on the market. The base level games are going to start out at more than PlayStation. and they're saying that, and that's going to be for base level games, and they're going to be even having these phone app style games on their system, selling for nothing. I mean, not nothing, but selling for everything, and you're not going to get nothing. You're not going to get a CD. You're not going to get anything. I've been ranting about this for weeks, and a lot of people are like, well, but this is a deal. I'm like, that's good business. That's not a steal. You're not stealing from you. They're not forcing you out of the Nintendo or gaming market. I mean, after all, the gaming industry has taken your money 1/4 at a time every 3 minutes for decades. What's the difference? I mean, it's good business.
No, yeah, but
but Nintendo upgrade putting their price up.
Sorry, Hillary.
As I say, Nintendo putting their price up kind of makes them no longer sort of that nice cheap handheld console. At the price they're going for now, I might as well just buy a Steam Deck.
On Nintendo's defense, right? On this, their Nintendo Switch 2, looking at everything they've been talking about, looking at all the specs that they have released to the public, the Nintendo Switch 2 is not just a handheld console. It is competing, and they don't say this particular. Like they're going to be competing with Steam Decks. They're going to be competing with the modern day gaming. Like this thing is a beast, you know. I mean, look, they're talking about Red Dead Redemption being on the Nintendo Switch 2.
I mean,
but they also talking about the whole fact that also that Nintendo might be losing the rights to Sega properties, and that is going over to Steam Deck. You know, that's a big loss for Nintendo if Nintendo ends up losing Sega properties, as I've read.
Right, Nintendo still charges well for your online use. So if weighing it up at the moment, you look at them and the price, I'm still going to head towards a Steam Deck because the Steam Deck gives me more options and things for the price that I'm paying.
Right.
Yes, the new Switch is indeed more powerful. I mean, they couldn't really keep with the current Switch. It's not. Definitely doesn't have the power to do some of the more modern games, and if they want people buying those, they had to do something. But
I think it's going to come down to, in the long run, when it comes down to personally these things, is are you willing to buy it? Because you know, you're going to hear a lot of people say vote with your wallet. I'm going to say I disagree. Voting with your wallet is just one person, and one person in a vote doesn't really matter against everybody else. So you know, you boycott with your wallet. You don't spend on something that's too expensive. And I plan on not buying the Nintendo. But then again, I haven't purchased the video games since virtually, other than a computer game here and there that are small boomer games. You know, I don't purchase any video games that don't come with physical media. And you know,
really quick, I want to say hello, Captain Waffles, and hello, Pause Brown MTG, who's updated their logo. Pause Brown. Yeah, and KJ says, KJ's going to get kicked off to the curb by the SF.
For
Well, it did happen to the King Sucker one time.
it did.
Oh, this is an interesting comment. Elijah says, if Nintendo doesn't team up with Sony, it'll flounder here soon. Well, there's some bad beef between Nintendo and Sony in the history.
They're never going to beef up. They're not going to team up. Nobody's.
Yeah, that beef. They're more likely to team up with Xbox, but
they had their chance in 1998.
Xbox does seem to have realized that there's no point sort of fighting anymore. I think their new one is meant to be almost a console that is a PC that can play Steam games and everything.
Yeah.
You know,
it's ironic though?
People just want somewhere to play. Let's stop being picky about this is mine. Only I can have it.
You know what's ironic though? Is like in the world of the Facebook marketplace, I've seen more people getting rid of their Xboxes than the PlayStation 5, like the new little weird modem-looking Xbox.
Oh yeah, Xbox.
People have been selling them left and right. I don't know if people just don't like the Xbox over PlayStation. I don't know much about the Xbox, but I noticed it.
The small one is like the weaker version of the bigger one, so it's a lot weaker. So yeah, I don't blame them for selling the smaller one.
One comes without a disc drive, one comes with.
Right.
If you're at this sort of stage, you might just be wanting to get rid of that one, get one with a disc drive, and then try and stock up on those games.
Right. Yeah. But like, and most streamers of games I've watched played, they're playing either off a PC or a PlayStation 5 nowadays. I know the Xbox has like a lot of titles to it, especially at the Game Pass. But I don't know what the Xbox is doing so wrong comparably to the PS5. Let's see. Pause says that's why I got a link in the PS5 bundle and got a 4 terabyte external hard drive with the disc version. Whether it's online or not, I'll still be able to play the games on the disc. That's right.
Nice.
Play the games on disc. Even though that's going to change, and that's one of the things that's flustering my brain. And I know KJ knows about this. And maybe Tibalt and Hellwheeler are up to date with this. But even the disc games are going digital, right? That they're going to have offerings of a physical disc for a game.
Yeah, well, take a look at music for a minute.
Hold on a second.
You got a cassette player, cassette tapes, right? Then you had records and CDs. Now everything's digital.
Mm-hmm.
That's what same way games are going.
They're coming back. The physical media for music's coming back. But what I'm saying is, with they're making hard copy discs of video games that you will want to buy, right? And instead of having the game on the disc, it's going to be like a download code on the disc or the little cartridge for.
That already happens now. You go to the shop, you pick up your case.
Yeah, that already happens.
Here's
Yeah.
my
Right.
my game.
Already,
you open it up and there's
like,
no disc in here. It's just
right. It already happens now, but it doesn't happen as much as what it's going to, and that's been verbally noted from the companies. They're going to start doing that more.
Yeah, they've been talking about it for a while. I've been telling people about this for a minute, but the problem is like we know it's coming. A good majority of the consumer population doesn't care, and that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're letting it happen. These are the same people who are going to spend $8 for a pack of cards rather than $5 for a pack of cards. And they're going to complain about it, but they're going to spend the money anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think these people who complain about it, then spend their money anyway, deserve to get ripped off by the gaming developers. I really do. I believe that they bring it upon themselves.
All right, have a good night, Mana Monk. Have a good night. Boop, boop.
See you, Mana Monk.
But yeah, well, look, I know there's kind of like a little spat between the gamer community and the game developing community, right? The people who make the games,
right? And
I can't remember which game it was, but there was a comment made from the gamer community was saying, why don't you make a sequel to this particular game, right? And I can't remember what game it was, but the developing community people responded back, well, if you'd pay full price for the game and not wait for it to go on Uber Sell, we'd be able to actually afford to make this sequel.
Bravo.
You know,
which game was it? Because
I can't remember which game.
Because game developers hardly ever have that much balls to say we'll make it if you pay for it. Mm-hmm. They usually just make it and then have it not finished. I mean, you don't see too many game devs with balls like that. It's usually the production companies who commission the game to be made, and a game dev, unless they're working on a individual product, they're never going to be making a product that nobody asked for, because unless they're working on like I said, something that they're not contracted for and they're working on their own product. I mean, yeah, I don't think that'd be a thing, to be honest.
Right. Well, but the reason why I bring that up is I do understand the cost of games, and like we live in a world, and I believe this, and I know KJ believes this, right? If you love the product, you would pay for it. Simple as that,
I don't believe in that. Actually, I believe that people who love the product end up screwing themselves in the backside every time.
Wait, what? But you wouldn't. So you're saying you wouldn't pay for something you loved that you wanted?
I know that society will. If it's out of my price range, I'm not going to. I firmly believe in not spending my money on product that's overpriced. I firmly believe in not. Hey, when did I tell you yesterday? I haven't spent one dime on comic books since before January. I haven't bought any of my addictions since before January. When prices started to go up way before the new president came in and people started worrying about tariffs, I stopped spending my money on based off of the inflation of overpriced products. So don't try to make it sound like I'm spending my money on shit I shouldn't be spending on. When I'm the guy telling people that
look, you bought a couple of video games in the history.
Did I? Have I bought video games lately, Jesse? What do I tell you about buying video games? I let other people buy it. I refuse to buy video games.
True there. He does go.
I refuse to buy video games. Don't put that on me.
I sent him a video game that's like £2.
There are a couple of video games you've bought in the past.
What games have I bought recently? Name the games that I said I bought.
I have no clue what games you bought.
I haven't bought a game since the Xbox generation. I'm telling you, I'm frugal. I don't spend my money on gaming. I don't spend a single cent on gaming. If somebody wants to supply a game towards the show and have me stream, I did not pay for Mad Max. I did not pay for Minecraft. I do not pay for the Minecraft server. I refuse to spend money on something I don't get a physical copy of, which means video games. So which means I have not spent money since before the pandemic on a video game.
No. Wow. Because for someone who's a capitalist, I'm a capitalist.
I believe in you spending your money, not me spending my money. I believe in you spending your money and you giving your money to me as a capitalist. No. I believe that you deserve to get ripped off by any business if you're willing to spend your money. That's what I believe. I just said I believe in making your money. I believe in using you to make money.
It's not your fault and you get paid.
If I get paid because you want to spend your money, absolutely, that's capitalism. You should decide whether or not you want to spend your money. Don't try to put money on. Try to put that onto me like I'm trying to spend money because I'm the one sitting here preaching to everybody. Don't spend your money. I'm the one sitting here preaching that if you don't like the amount of money that Magic charges you for a pack of cards, guess what? You're collecting the wrong thing if you can't afford a pack of Magic cards. I've been saying that on this show regularly, pissing a lot of people off.
But you had said that if it's something you want, you should buy it.
Oh no, I never said that. I said people are stupid and people will spend their money on things that I want. I never said I would do that.
Look at the way you just said that. Look at the way you just said that, KJ.
People are stupid. Yes, they are.
So
the consumer is stupid.
Chat they're stupid for spending their money?
Yes, I am. Absolutely.
Why are you telling chat they're stupid?
Because if they're going to spend their money on bullshit, then they're fucking stupid. You want the truth? If you want the truth and you're saying no, but it's true. If you're going to spend your money on stuff that you can't afford, you're going to put yourself into a situation. I don't spend my money on shit I can't afford. I don't spend my money on gaming. I haven't spent my money on my collectibles.
Money on stuff they can't afford.
A lot of people are.
But that's
you said that the other day. No. Don't try to turn this around. You said the other day, even you had a topic the other day on this show. And I know you're trying to just make me pissed off to make me say things, which is working, by the way. And you said on your show, and you brought up the whole story that took up a whole show about how a friend of yours put himself into the homeless shelters, lost his wife and everything because he was too stupid to not stop spending his money on a product that he was too stupid.
I've talked about 2 people in my life who've done that.
All right, but I'm not talking about that. I'm telling people if you're going to be that stupid, you deserve to have the corporations screw you in the backside.
But look, that's not everybody in chat. That's not everybody.
No, it is. Anybody who's willing to spend their money on something that they know is overpriced, period. And that's a good majority of our society, of Western culture. So much, in fact, that it is a common trope with these manufacturing companies, places like Hasbro, who are telling people like Wizards of the Coast, no, you're going to do it our way. And your people who buying your product are going to spend more money on it, period. because you are told to. I say this every single day. Don't try to turn it around like I'm saying something else. I am saying the facts.
It's
You
hard
deserve to
call
get ripped
people
off.
Stupid
Look,
when
look,
they've
look.
been trained a certain way to do things.
If you're
Like-
trainable, then you are obviously of weak mind.
You can be trained not to do things too. I
You
think
can
it's about
train
getting
dogs to not
information.
poop on the toilet, poop on your floor, but it doesn't make them of not weak mind.
KJ, I'm gonna put you on the spot right here. You are getting way over emotional, and you're targeting so many people.
I'm not targeting
You're
people.
targeting people.
I'm not. I'm just pointing out the obvious fact that if you're going to spend your money on useless stuff like video games that don't come with a physical copy, you're going to spend more money than a product's worth, then you deserve to get ripped off by the corporations. It doesn't matter. If you're willing to spend it, that's on you. That's not on me because you're willing to spend it.
Look.
That is called irresponsible spending. The way I grew up understanding how responsibility and spending and saving your money goes to, if you can't afford diddly squat, you shouldn't spend on diddly squat. It is on you, the consumer, to decide what the consumer buys, not.
But see, even you've mentioned the fact that you've been brought up that way, so you understand that. So I said
I understand the corporations. I understand as having been a person who's been subjugated to the brainwashing since the 80s. I understand the corporations. I believe the corporations are right. I believe that capitalism, number one, not this communist stuff that that everybody wants to go, oh well, capitalism's bad. No, capitalism's good. If you're willing to spend your money, then you deserve to lose your money. Capitalism.
Well, I think that's a fair point, but I think it's also incumbent upon other people to educate other people if you see them doing something foolishly, instead of just pointing the finger and saying you're dumb.
I don't know.
Maybe explain how they could improve that, though.
Their parents should have done that.
No,
Their parents should have done
right.
that. They should have went to. They should have studied well in school when they went to home ec. They should have learned from their. It's not my job to educate somebody and stop them from being stupid. It's not my job to stop somebody from putting their tongue on an electrical outlet. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to watch and laugh, and I'm like, okay.
I guess my point though is when you call them out on it and you don't do anything to help them, that's on you.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. But I also believe that physical shaming. I believe that physical shaming also works. I believe that standing somebody out in the middle of the street and go, look at this guy, look at what he's wearing.
Okay, so I believe not being a friend works then.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're not friends with the person, absolutely. Even I tell my friends all the time when they make a stupid purchase product, when they make a purchase on a product, they spend so much money. I've said it several times, especially to a few people in our community who are very close friends.
So what does that help them, or what does that get you in return by doing that?
I don't think it helps anybody. It doesn't help anybody not to say anything either.
Kevin G says, hey, if I choose to buy cards instead of food besides my eggs, is what I call smart investing. Okay, check this out. I think the pitchforks are coming out now.
Hey, I'm going to stand to my beliefs. I know you guys don't really care about the capitalist stuff. You've made it painfully obvious in the past, but I'm the one guy who's always sitting here supporting it. I'm the one guy on the show that's always going, hey, you know what? Just because everybody else is wanting to say things that are like, oh, we don't like the capitalist nature. I'm the one guy sitting here defending Hasbro. I'm the one guy sitting here defending Disney and all these major corporations that are making decisions that you guys don't like. I'm the one sitting here always defending the Marvel decisions, the Secret Layer decisions, and sitting here. You know what? Nobody likes on the show these collabs. You guys always complain about the collabs. I'm sitting here defending. If you're going to spend your money, you deserve it.
Well, like with the Secret Layer stuff, you're right. Like with the Secret Layer stuff, those are more for collectors and whatnot, and people who like, because we know people out there, and yes, I know people out there who will spend a chunk of their paycheck to get some stupid stuff like secret layers, and they're buying ramen for the rest of the week because they can't afford to buy regular groceries. That's true, but
that's not on me. I laugh at that.
No one is pinning it on you.
I laugh at that. I think that if somebody's willing to live that life, I laugh at that. I sit there and I shun them and I laugh at it.
Right,
I say, I'm going to be laughing at you when you're in the homeless shelter.
Bad choices are bad choices. And look, we all, in some point in life, been close to or in the homeless shelter. And it's the stuff that we've learned on the way. And, for those who have the people in their lives to keep them from making the same mistakes again, that's amazing. But to blanket everybody under stupid is just
I blanketed everybody who's willing to go broke and spend their money. Yes, absolutely. I am going to do that. And it is not. I believe that it is absolutely the inappropriate thing to do to not do it. I believe it's inappropriate to coddle somebody who's stupid. I believe it is inappropriate to allow said stupidity not to be pointed at and said, see, this is how you turn into this. If you don't want to turn into this, don't do this. That's how I was raised, and that's how I believe that.
But with your statement right there, you just said that it's on you to point out to them that they're doing something wrong.
And I do every time.
But are you doing that to help them?
Or it doesn't matter. I don't need to help you.
Okay.
Look. Don't get defensive.
I don't need to help somebody who's
attacking you or targeting
No. I'm trying to tell you. I've been saying this over and over again. I know you don't like this, okay? But the flat out fact of the matter is you're not going to change my opinion. Capitalism is key. Capitalism is key. The people who are stupid and give in to the capitalists lose their money. That's on them. You know what? I'm not going to sit there and stop somebody. I'm not going to say, hey, you're making a bad decision, because I'm not going to hold up that line in the counter at the store. You could have actually paid less by getting this brand right here. That's BS. I'm going to let the person lose their money. They can learn the lesson on their own. They can learn their lesson the hard way, as most of us adults had.
I don't think capitalism is a bad thing. I absolutely agree with capitalism, and I think that's a good thing. But I also believe that the markets and everything else will stabilize itself, because yes, at some point, the people that are going to spend the money foolishly are going to be broke and so on. But I also think and this is just on me, it's important for me to share my lessons with other people to help them and to foster a more community and stuff. So this is the way I'm looking at it. But I agree with you that capitalism is great. I would not want to live in any other system. I don't have a lot of experience with other systems, but I can't see them working. And I am definitely a capitalist. I definitely believe in that. But I also think that there's a way to do it responsibly and ethically. And that's on me. That's just my opinion and stuff and how I choose to do business.
But responsibility in business is on the consumer. The responsibility of a business is to make money.
Well, see, if you don't take responsibility as a person, in my opinion, if you don't take responsibility for that yourself, then you become a con man. Then you become somebody that's taking advantage of people for whatever reason. Now, you can't take it. I get it. I know the argument there, which is like, well, you never give a sucker an even break. It's their fault for being stupid. I don't necessarily agree with that part of the statement.
I don't understand why, but I get you. That's I respect that of you. I respect that of you. Me personally, I believe you do never give a sucker an even break, because he's going to end up eating the sucker on his own. And on top of that, I do believe that you're right to a certain degree. It is on the responsibility of that consumer, but unfortunately, we, as I said, we're in a brainwash generation for the last 30 years, and most of the consumers are going to do exactly what they're told by the suggestive sales marketing that says you will have FOMO if you don't buy this. And I believe, based off of my experience in retail, my experience in life, and also my experience as a person who collects things. I see all these people going into the comic book shops, LGSs, and they are living this FOMO and they are putting themselves out. And I laugh every time. And, you know, I will point out where you went wrong after you've made your mistake. Do you see where you went wrong here, son? You don't know what you've done wrong until you've done it wrong. You have to make the mistakes in order to have those mistakes.
Well, to back up KJ just a little here, right? Because one thing I know KJ and I see eye to eye on is the companies don't know your backstory, right? They don't know what you can afford or not. They're going to take your money.
They don't care.
Right.
It'd be irresponsible of them to care.
Right. So, really quick, Kane Chick says, what is being missed in most of the people here is spending their money responsibly, and the few that do not should be pointed a finger at. And we ask, what the F are they doing? Then KBG says, capitalist is great. If a company is engaging in bad behavior, stop funding their behavior, right?
Sure.
And, you know, like I remember back in the day, and this is going to be the closing comment of the night. I remember back in the day when Magic was doing some iffy, odd behavior stuff, and this was in the beginning of their changing. People were yelling boycott. People were yelling stop buying, vote with your wallets, and stuff like that. And no matter what happened, people were saying, if you love the company, and people were saying, if you love the company, support it, right? You know, bad decisions are bad decisions. Don't buy the product. You know, don't boycott the company because they're still learning, whatever. But people were trying to destroy companies back in the day. People are trying to destroy companies today. And, you know, all you need really nowadays is get a bad PR moment. I mean, look at My Pillow Guy as an example. And, you know, that stuff can happen. But what I want to end with is, you know, be responsible with your spending. Make wise choices. And that's one thing we should all do. And, you know, because, you know, like I try to be responsible with my money. Everybody else tries to be responsible with their money in general. And I think we all should respect that. But with that, we got to get to this lovely little segment right here. Boop, 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 boop.
Hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the creep.
Too much to take. So it's lit. MP43, are you game? Rise, creep, rise, building a following as we gain. Spitting fire like a dragon, no one can bring us down. MP43 in the house, we own this town. Ripping through the beats with a fury.
All right, where's this thing, Jigger? Hold on. Where is it? Still there? Still there? Yeah, you guys are still there, but the comment box thing is not popping up. Hey, all right, everybody, we're going to start getting to the shill section because we need to get to the shill section.
Hey, I made it for once.
You made it for once. Boom, boom. And so we're going to start showing off our channels where you can find us. We're going to start with mugenfool.
Hey, everybody! I might have a game tomorrow to play on my stream. I'm not sure yet, but if I do, I'll stream it and I'll send a alert out for everybody. If not, it'll probably be next Wednesday.
Nice. That sounds awesome. That sounds awesome. And with that, we're going to roll over to the cat lady. We got Hellwheeler. What's up?
Hey. All right, it's Tuesday. So we got Simulation Tuesday later tonight. There is just gone up a poll in my Discord with 3 choices of tonight's fun. If you want to have your say in what it will be, then head there and make your vote. Otherwise, I will be starting somewhere around 7 o'clock tonight. Most of my streams I'm kind of pushing back nearer the 7 now. But we'll be there and probably a backseat driving KJ.
Whoop, whoop.
If he is about.
KJ
So,
and Hellwheeler. Yeah, let's go. I'm thinking of KJ. KJ, show your stuff.
Hey, howdy, hey, boys and girls. KJ Cowboydan here. And well, what do we got going on? Like Jesse said, we got Simulation Tuesday going on tonight. Tomorrow we have a Procrastinating Across the Oceans fictional character death match. Join us for that tomorrow, where we're going to pit the most awkward combinations of fictional characters to go up against each other.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, we were having a conversation about this the other day. Yeah, it sounds like it could be fun. And now let's get to the maniacal.
So whether you support responsible capitalism or frivolous capitalism, go to darkritual.com. Actually, TCG Player Dark Ritual Pro Store and buy my cards there. So
That's
we got
right.
that going on. You can find me on Instagram is where you can keep up with me on a more daily basis. See some of the cards that are going in the store and so on, other things that are happening. Happen to be playing another Commander game with another content creator later on today. What else is going on? Actually, I've got some other stuff coming up very soon. I'm not quite ready to talk about it just yet, but there will be one place where all of my things will be drawn together and you will easily be able to find me there. So
Nice.
we'll talk more about that later.
Woo-hoo. All right, and let's roll on to the Hillbilly.
Hey, everybody. Let's see. Today is Tuesday, so I'll be playing with responsible people that has played the game, that can afford the game. And I will be doing that this afternoon, playing against the viewers. Then later on tonight, I will be doing a Commander game. And hopefully all of this will happen today. It's still iffy on all of this because of weather. But that's what is planned for today.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Whoop, whoop. And everybody, it's Super Fast Tortoise. I want to thank you guys for chilling out with us. I'm planning on going live tonight. I'll try to figure out what I want to do tonight. Particularly, I have to figure that out still. But hey, we'll do something tonight live for your viewing pleasure. And today's show was hot takes, hot emotions, everything going crazy. Look, like I understand how people may feel, but today's show was on fire. All right. And hey, Tortoise, Hillbilly, KJ, Tibalt, Mugenfool, Hellwheeler, you guys all rock. That includes me, right? Everybody in chat, y'all rock. Thank you for supporting the channel and being awesome and amazing. Leave in the comments below your takes on today's show. And yes, I wish we had an extra hour to go, but I don't. Responsibilities, life things. But anyways, I want to thank you, everybody, my subscribers, my members of the channel, keeping everything going. Be awesome, be amazing. And I'll remind you that you are loved. Someone thinking about you. And if you can, brighten someone's day just a little, because you might be the change someone needs today. And with that, my friends, let's get to that sweet, sweet outro.
Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning.